Hello and welcome to another edition of Worldwide Wednesday. I'm your host Danny and you are with Blue Door Media. Every week we challenge our readers to write in some questions about the natural world and I'll do some research and answer them. You guys have been asking some really great questions and this week is no exception. We'll get to 2 questions today and I will also challenge you again. Ask me anything about the natural world, about our planet, and I will feature you in next week's Worldwide Wednesday video. If you missed last week's video, I will link it in the comments. We answered some wonderful questions, and we're also joined by a fly, which is part of the natural world, so that was pretty cool too. Without further ado, let's get into this week's first question. We have Kathy from Massachusetts. Kathy writes, Monarch butterflies have been in my yard and on my butterfly bush all week here in Massachusetts. I assume they're getting ready to migrate. What are their migratory patterns and habits, and do they travel far? This is a great question because even though I'm on the other side of the country here in San Diego, I have also been seeing monarch butterflies recently. So, monarch butterflies are the only butterfly that are known to make a two-way migration just like birds do. So some butterflies can survive in cold weather. They can pupate, they can make a cocoon, they can weather the cold winters in that form. Monarchs can't do that. They can't survive in cold weather. So they have to migrate to survive. Now the monarchs get ready to migrate by using environmental cues. So temperature, sunlight, when those things when the sunlight starts to get lower, temp starts going down, the monarchs say, all right, it's time to get out of here. We got to go. So that's when they know it's time. So Kathy, in Massachusetts, I'm sure that it's getting a little cold. Days are getting a little shorter. Those monarchs are getting ready to migrate. So monarchs in eastern North America have a second home in the Sierra Madre Mountains of Mexico at elevations of almost 2 miles above sea level. So they will travel all the way from Massachusetts or the East Coast, and they will go sometimes as far as 3,000 miles until they get to these mountains, and then they will cluster together in tens of thousands of monarchs per branch, and that's how they will spend their winter, making their way back to the East Coast on the summer. Now, the monarchs that I'm seeing are actually coming from the northwest coast. So the northwest coast of Canada, all the way up through Canada, and then all the way down through the western United States. Those monarchs actually just come down to San Diego in the Southern California area to live out their winter. It's nice and mild here all year round. Perfect for them. All right, let's see. Scientists aren't sure how the monarchs are able to navigate. The 2 most widely accepted theories are by using the Earth's magnetic field and the position of the sun, which is really cool. We really just don't know how they're able to do this. Still studying it. So, as a quick recap, Kathy, yes, the monarchs are getting ready to migrate. They are migrating from where you live on the East Coast to the Sierra Madre Mountains in Mexico, and they travel over 3,000 miles in some cases. Thank you so much for your question. I'll include a map of the migrations in the comments for you to take a look at. All right, question number 2 today comes from Rich. And Rich writes, can you recommend a good reusable water bottle? I am trying to cut down on single-use plastics. Thanks, Rich. Awesome question, Rich. I really appreciate you and your question and the fact that you're cutting down on single-use plastics. Makes me very happy. Let's see. Do I recommend a specific brand? I don't have a specific brand that I'd like to use. I'd like to talk a little bit about the materials to answer this question. The safest and most environmentally friendly material you can use is glass. I have a big glass jug of water. It's not with me today. I featured it in last week's video. It looks like a big jug of moonshine, but it's just water. Glass is the safest and most sustainable way to go. But glass is heavy. When I fill up my glass gallon, it's very heavy. It's not something I can easily carry around with me. So while glass is the safest, it's not the most convenient. And there are other options for us to talk about. So a lot of people have Nalgene's, plastic water bottles, reusables. Listen, anything reusable is going to be better for the environment than a single use. That being said, even BPA-free plastic bottles are still being studied as to what they leach into your water over time. We really don't know what kind of chemicals can leach into your drinking water over time, especially if you're putting them in a washing machine, things like that. We really just don't know. So the safest thing to do would be to stay away from plastic altogether, but using a reusable plastic water bottle is better than using a single use. I stand by that. So I would say glass is your best bet, even though it's not the most convenient. Your second best bet would be stainless steel metal. As far as from the research that I did, I couldn't find anything about metals leaching into your waters from a stainless steel water bottle. So I tend to go towards stainless steel. Stainless steel also keeps stuff cooler a little longer. It's not great for hot beverages, but I do like stainless steel. So I would say glass, stainless steel, aluminum, which sometimes can leave a little funky taste, and then plastic in your reusables. But again, I wanna say that what really matters is that you're going reusable. Okay, getting away from single-use plastics, single-use anything is the way to go. It's better for the environment. The plastic water bottles that you buy at the store, those single-use, they are made of a lower grade plastic that has a higher chance of leaching plastics into your water as opposed to like a Nalgene, BPA free, which so those plastics are generally safe. The reusable plastics, the Nalgenes, the Hydro Flask, anything like that. Hydro Flask is metal. But what I'm saying is it's okay to use a reusable plastic water bottle. I use them all the time. But I did want to highlight that we're not 100% sure that they are safe all the time. So glass, metal, plastic, get your reusable water bottles. It really makes a difference saving the environment. Plastic takes a lot of carbon to make, and then they end up sitting in the landfill. They end up in the oceans, microplastics. We can talk about another time. Thank you, Rich, very much for asking that question. That's all the questions I'm going to do this week. Please ask me some more questions, and I will answer them in next week's edition of Worldwide Wednesday. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next week. See ya.